Just discovered my fiancé has been using a fake name for our entire relationship, and now I'm questioning everything. 28F, 32M. I'm completely at a loss right now. I don't know what to think, what to feel, or what to do next. My fiancé, the man I thought I knew inside and out, has been living a lie for the entire 3 years we've been together. I, 28F, thought we had no secrets between us, but it turns out I didn't even know his real name. I feel like I'm living in some kind of nightmare or twisted movie plot. The thing is, Tom, 32M, if that's even his name, proposed to me last summer. We've been planning our wedding for months now. We've toured venues, picked out a date, and even started putting deposits down on vendors. My parents adore him. My friends have been asking non-stop when the invitations are going out. My whole world revolved around this wedding and this man I thought I knew. But yesterday, all of that came crashing down in the most surreal way possible. It started when I was going through some old boxes in our apartment, just doing some fall cleaning before the wedding madness kicked in. In one of the boxes, I found a stack of old documents stuffed into an envelope with the name James on them. At first, I was confused. I thought it must have been mail for a previous tenant, but the address matched Tom's old apartment from before we moved in together. The more I looked at it, the more uneasy I felt. It was a mix of old bank statements and a couple of tax forms, nothing super suspicious on its own, but my gut was telling me something was seriously off. I waited until Tom got home and casually asked him if he knew anyone named James. You know that feeling when you can physically see the color drain from someone's face? Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He went pale as a ghost, and I could tell right then that something was wrong. He stammered, trying to laugh it off at first, but I wasn't buying it. I pushed a little harder, asking who James was, and that's when he blurted out, "It's me." What the actual F asterisk. Asterisk asterisk. I felt like the ground dropped out from under me. I couldn't even process what he'd just said. He tried to explain it like it was no big deal, like it was just some quirky little detail about himself that he forgot to mention. He told me that his real name is James, but he's been going by Tom for years. When I asked why he never told me this, his excuse was, "I didn't think it mattered." Didn't think it mattered? How does it not matter that the name you introduced yourself to me with, the name I've been calling you for 3 years, isn't even your real name? I couldn't even respond. I just sat there stunned. He started talking faster, like he was trying to patch up a sinking ship with duct tape. He told me he changed his name because of family issues. He said he'd had a falling out with his parents, and that when he moved to a new city, right before we met, he wanted a fresh start, so he adopted a new name to go along with his new life. But that's not even the worst part. When I asked him what kind of falling out was so bad that he'd change his entire identity, he got really cagey. He refused to go into details, saying it was too painful to talk about, but he reassured me it wasn't anything illegal or dangerous. Yet, something in his eyes made me feel like he was hiding more than just a name change. My heart was pounding. I felt like I didn't know this man at all. I couldn't just let it go. This wasn't some small white lie. This was a fundamental part of who he is, and I had no idea if I could believe anything he was telling me anymore. I needed answers, but he shut down every attempt I made to get them. He kept repeating, "I'm still the same person you love. Why does it matter?" But how could I trust that? If he could lie about his own identity for 3 years, what else had he lied about? My mind was spiraling with all the possibilities. I started thinking back to little things, like how he'd get evasive any time I asked about his childhood, or how he always seemed to avoid family gatherings. He told me his parents lived out of state, which is why we hadn't visited them. But now I was wondering if they even knew where he was. Or worse, did they even know who he was anymore? Here's where things get even weirder. After our argument, I did something I've never done before in this relationship. I went through his phone. I know, trust me, I feel horrible about it. But I was desperate for answers, and I felt like I had no other choice. What I found made my stomach turn. There were emails, dating back to just a few months before we met, from someone named Lily. They weren't romantic or flirty, but the tone was personal. It was clear that Lily was someone he used to be close with, maybe even a former girlfriend. The weird part, the emails weren't sent to Tom or even to James. They were sent to another name entirely. This name, let's call it Nick, was completely new to me. Who the hell was Nick? At this point, I felt like I was losing my mind. Was he leading a double life? A triple life? How many versions of this man even exist? I confronted him about it the next morning, and he had the audacity to act like I was in the wrong for snooping. He claimed Lily was just an ex from years ago, and that Nick was a stupid nickname they used back when they were together. He said he's not in touch with her anymore and that it doesn't mean anything now, but can you blame me for not believing him at this point? I left. I packed a bag, called my best friend, and I'm staying at her place for the time being. I feel like my entire world has been turned upside down. The man I was about to marry, the person I've shared my life with, has been living under not just one but possibly multiple fake identities. I don't even know who he is anymore. I'm terrified. Terrified that I'm in love with a stranger. Terrified that if I dig deeper, I'll find more lies. What if he's hiding something even worse? A criminal record? A marriage? Kids? My heart hurts so much because I love him, I really truly do, but this betrayal feels so deep, I don't know if we can come back from it. And now, I'm sitting here, staring at the engagement ring on my finger, wondering if any of it was real. Should I even be planning a wedding with someone I can't trust? Every time I try to rationalize staying with him, another doubt creeps in. The man I thought I'd spend the rest of my life with may not even exist, at least not in the way I thought he did. I don't know if I'm overreacting. Maybe this isn't as big of a deal as it feels, but I just can't shake the feeling that there's so much more to this than he's telling me. How do I move forward when everything I thought I knew has been shattered? TLDR, I just found out my fiancé, who I've been with for 3 years, has been using a fake name the entire time. He says it's due to family issues, but he refuses to give me the full story. I also found emails under yet another alias, and now I'm questioning everything about our relationship. What do I do?